I'm in the marina at Bundaberg because I have to be, really. I'm going to take my anchor chain off the boat and get it regalvanised. There's a great galvanising works at Bundaberg, but it means I can't hang off the pick, so I've really got to be tied up somewhere safe. I've come into the marina, I've booked for a week, and this morning the chore is going to be to get the anchor chain out of the locker, down into a trolley and then up onto a mate's chute so I can take it into town. Anyway, let's go and get this anchor chain off. The first job is to move the boat forward to get the bow roller over the pontoon in the front of the boat. Then the chain is run out through the winch into the trolley. Then the anchor is unshackled from the chain. Then the chain is run out through the winch, and as I do this, I cut off the cable ties that I use for marking the chain. All of the chain is then run out into the trolley. Okay, I'm going to get the anchor geld while I'm at it. These Sarker anchors are great anchors, but you can see I've got a bolt in the shank here. Now the whole idea behind these anchors is that the shank is slotted, so if you get that anchor hooked up in a bit of coral or rock, something that won't come out of, you can't lift it up. If you drive the boat forward, it drags your shackle up to the front of the anchor and pulls it out backwards. So it's a good feature. The only trouble is, a couple of times, usually in wind against tide situations, I've had the anchor pull out at night and nearly ended up in a bit of grief. So what I do is I put a little bolt in the shank to stop that from happening. With that bolt done up tight, it stops that shackle from going forward. So then I can sleep at night. If I was in coral or anchoring in coral, I could take that bolt out and still have the tripping feature active on the anchor. But these Sarkers are great anchors. Once you get them down, as long as you put enough chain out, they hang on. They never let you down, and I'll swear by them. But just one thing to be wary of is that trip feature can sometimes let you down. Anyway, we'll get the anchor galvanised as well. They charge by the kilogram, so you can usually throw your anchor in and get it done for the same price. But I've just got to take all the stainless fittings off it, make sure it's all just steel that you're trying to get galvanised, so all these fittings have got to come off. Just inspect all of this, make sure it's all good. Shackle still looks like it's alright. The swivel, always inspect it when I pull it apart. So now we've got our anchor down to all steel fittings, ready to galvanise. Beautiful. The anchor's in, the anchor chain's in, and the outboard's in. Let's go to town. Well, I'm off to town. I've got the anchor chain and the outboard in the back of my mate's ute, and I'm taking them to town. I've got a little problem with the outboard. I'll get them to have a look at that and hopefully solve it. And the anchor chain and anchor are being galvanised, so I'm taking that to the galvanising works. Always good to have friends with wheels when you live on a boat. Thanks very much, Steve.
Tank there is the caustic, and that takes all the paint and grease and that off. And then we rinse the caustic off in a water tank, and then it goes into hydrochloric acid, strip it back to a raw material, like those beans up there, take it back to a raw material, and then we flux it, and then we put it over the kettle for a little while to dry out, and then we just dip it, and then we just quench it at the end in water so we can manhandle it.
So if you guys are getting your anchor chain galvanised, this is the only place to come to. Come to Bundy and get it done here. I had it done in one other place once before in Brisbane, and it was half the job and twice the price. So these guys are really good at it. Make sure you bring your anchor. And this is an unpaid ad. Well, this is Cruiser's Cove. It's a great spot to meet people. Come and have a drink. They've got a kitchen, fridge, barbecue. So you can come up here and have a barbie and meet people if you're cruising, and you can put your name up on the wall. And they run a courtesy bus into Bundaberg itself from the marina. Friday night, the marina puts on a free barbie, so they supply the meat for a barbecue every Friday night. Great way for people to get together, have a few drinks. Well, virtually all I'm doing is waiting now, waiting for my anchor chain to be gelled, waiting for the outboard to come back. Once I get all those things back, I can do a bit of work putting everything back together and getting shipshape again to take off, but I just got to wait, and I haven't got that much to do on the boat apart from what I'm doing, so I'm just going for a brisk walk up to Burnett Heads, probably about 6 k's up there and back, but yeah, better than just sitting around doing nothing all day. This is the main shopping centre at Burnett Heads. There's a pub, IGA, pharmacy, post office, and a few other little shops. Good bakery, nice cup of coffee there, another cafe. Nice cruisy little town. It's probably about a 3k walk from the marina, and the IGA will take you back in their courtesy bus if you're buying supplies, so it's worthwhile. I'm going to walk back, but it's worthwhile if you've got to do a bit of shopping. Well, back into town now. They rang me up, the anchor chain's been regelled, so I'll go in and pick that up. And the outboard's okay too, so I'll pick that up as well. Well, I've just pulled all the chain out of the back of the ute, went and picked it up before, and I've spread it out in 4 runs, so 60 metres of chain, so they're each 15 metres along each run. And now what I'm doing is just going around and putting zip ties at those joints and a couple in between. So I'll tie zip ties on it. That's the best way to mark it. So I've got 15 metres there, 30 metres to here. If you've just had your chain galvanised, do the right thing by it. Don't drag it out on concrete or bitumen or something like that. You can see I've got it dragged out here on the grass. Protect it a bit, because every bit of concrete you drag it over is a bit more galvanising, it takes off. So look after it a bit. I'll keep it on the grass here and put it in a trolley, take it down to the boat, stick it straight into the locker. And if you do that, you'll probably give yourself another bit more life out of your chain. Okay, so the chain's all marked. All I've got to do now is get it into the trolley and back down onto the boat. Loctite thread locker. Loctite 243 really locks threads up. Makes it really hard to get them apart, but that's what you want. Even though I've got thread locker on that shackle, I'm still going to mouse it. I think the thread locker will probably hold it, but if you mouse it, you're sure. So it's all a matter of being able to sleep at night. All I use is a bit of stainless steel welding wire. Should be pretty good. Just wind it back up. So Bundy is a great spot to visit, especially if you need work done on your boat or you need to do some work on your boat. They've got a great hard stand area, good travel lift, and they've got lots of services here at the port and in Bundaberg that can help you out with work you've got to do on your boat. So definitely worth a visit, Bundy Port Marina.